Check, check, check. Hey guys, what's up? Okay. So, sorry about all of the windows that were encroaching on the area there, and the big cursor. You're right, I do have a big cursor. I'm proud of it. I was born with it. Wow, that's a great way to start off a live stream. So, yeah, Oblivion is almost out. Wow, that is crazy to me. I've been working on this for so long now. It's been like 2 years. So I'm like insanely excited for you guys to see this, or to hear this. Well, see it as well. There's a lot of visual elements as well. Those are all going to be coming out a bit later, but there's also kind of, a little release video that I made as well. And we're going to be watching that at 9 p.m. PST. So midnight for all of you East Coasters. This microphone is not working so well. Wait, you can't hear me? Oh no, this is bad. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll fix it. Check 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, how's that? Can you guys hear me? Check, check, check. Okay, can you guys, on YouTube or Facebook, can you guys hear me on here? Oh, quiet? Okay, hold on. I can turn it up. Hold on. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How's that? Is that good? Is that loud enough? Are you guys happy? Have I done it? How's that? Is it good? Is it good? Can I start? Hello, hello, hello. Yes, okay, so much better. Everyone says so much better. I love when the people are happy. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I think this happens pretty much every single time I live stream. Look, you can't even see my face. Look, I'm not even framing it like you're seeing my navel and not my face. I don't know what's wrong with me when it comes to certain technologies. It's like a couple of different things. Oh, God, and now my phone fell over. For Instagram. There are like a couple of different things. It's like some technologies I'm extremely good at, and then other ones, it is like, I feel like such an old person. I don't know what's wrong with me. And anyway, live streaming is one of those, apparently. So, yes, as I was saying before I unfortunately thought that you guys were, that you couldn't hear me. I was saying that Oblivion is, it's coming out in 30 minutes. And that is insane because I have been working on this album for 2 years now. And man, I mean, since I started it, life has been such a crazy journey. And I'm really excited for you guys to finally kind of hear the soundtrack to that entire journey. My life has been all over the place. I mean, it's been at the highest highs that I've ever been at, and probably the lowest lows that I've ever been at, all in this short little time. And I've been making this music the entire time, so it's sort of like a super accurate autobiographical account of a lot of the most difficult parts of my life, a lot of the most difficult parts of my mind and my being. Yeah, I don't know. I faced a lot of shadow material, a lot of the darkest parts, not just of my life, but of myself, during this period, and I think that really comes across in the album. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it. So yeah, I am absolutely jazzed. I'm doing this at the same time as preparing for this tour that starts tomorrow. So I'm like super frazzled right now because I have this whole new Oblivion live set with a bunch of the new material, with the old material, with all these like new mashups and new things that I'm doing. And you know, all new visuals for everything that are going behind me that I've been working on nonstop. But it's just a lot of work, so I'm trying to do that at the same time. I was like, oh my God, my album releases today. So, yeah. Check, 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 check. Oh, I see. So now I can't hear the piano. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. Technical difficulties, as always. Maybe someday I'll be a professional, and I can just do things successfully without making a fool of myself. I don't know, that's sort of like what the Crywolf project is about, though, making a fool of myself in, hopefully in beautiful ways, so. Is the piano louder than my voice? See, like, I don't know how to, okay, never mind. I'm not going to keep talking about my technological incompetence. All right, how's this? Check, 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 1, 2, check, 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 check. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. I'm checking the microphone and I'm checking it again. Is the piano still louder than the voice? Or is it good because a bunch of you are saying yes, and then a bunch of you are saying piano is loud? How's that? Is that good? Check, 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 check. Oh, I can see the levels here. Hold on. Check, 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 check. Piano is loud. Oh, there's people listening on Instagram too. You guys are not hearing the actual the full quality of this, so you can keep listening on there if you want, but it's going to sound really weird and bad because I'm. So you guys can keep listening, or you can go to YouTube/Crywolf or run Facebook/Run Crywolf. Check. Can you still hear my voice? Can you still hear my voice? You can't hear me? Oh, come on. Oh, this is getting old, man. What's wrong with this damn system? What about now? Can you guys hear me? How about now? How about now? Oh, you can. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's fine. So many of you typing at the same time. I could barely read any of the messages. It's like, yes, that's amazing. This sounds good now. No, the piano is louder than you. Turn that shit up. All right, whatever. I'm just going for it, okay? Sorry, if you can, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm only halfway present right now. It's like my brain is completely fried. I think I worked almost 20 hours straight yesterday on this tour and music videos and visuals for the tour and the album release stuff and all of this. It's a lot of work. Anyway, I'm just like really out of it right now. But I hope you guys can bear with me. Oh no, I love working like that. Don't worry. I'm not like I'm not destroying my body. Caught in the river turning blue. Hold your breath as it covers you. Open that mouth and show me something. Oh. Hold your breath as it covers you. Oh. Caught in the river turning blue. Hold your breath as it covers you. Open that mouth and show me something. Hold your breath as it covers you. I'm nothing without you here. I'm nothing, I disappear. Oh, dear, nothing but my heart remains when you inhale, I fill your lungs. When you exhale, don't breathe me out into the world. When you inhale, I fill your lungs. When you exhale, don't breathe me out into the world. Don't breathe me out into the world. Turn around, don't walk through that door. There are verses left you don't know. Oh, my hands are painted red. Wait, wait, wait. Oh, wait. There's a locket here in my palm. It is broken like the song I first sang the night you lied. The night you lied. Stay the night and we'll meet our coast. The beer drifting up through the floor, dancing softly round the bed. You could take my life right here in the sheets, paint my body red, refuse to retreat. The walls between will bend, they'll fade, but will they go? Will they go? Once I was afraid that I'd find you, cold and lying still in my bedroom. Once I was afraid I'd cry until I broke for the first time. For the first time. I'll go set fire to all we started, fall down to my knees as smoke rises. Oh, right back to the place where I fell in love with you for the first time. Oh, for the first time. Over 2 centimeters over your body, I'm dripping with dementia you cannot believe. I'm excited and not in a good way. I'm steadily spinning, I'm spinning way too slow for you to perceive. Wrap you up in my gravity. Use my words incorrectly. I am plump with proclivities and I'm falling, I'm losing my balance, I'm losing my balance, I'm losing it. And when I bite down, I don't stop until my teeth are touching, I don't stop until my teeth are touching, I don't stop until they meet. When I'm hungry, I can't rest until my fingers are bloody. I don't rest until my fingers are bloody. I can't rest until I eat. I hover 2 centimeters over your body. I'm dripping with dementia you cannot believe. I'm excited and not in a good way. I'm steadily spinning, I'm spinning way too slow for you to perceive. Wrap you up in my gravity. Use my words incorrectly. Oh. I am plump with proclivities and I'm falling, I'm losing my balance, I'm losing my balance, I'm losing it. And when I bite down, I don't stop until my teeth are touching. I can't stop until my teeth are touching. I can't stop until they meet. And when I'm hungry, I can't rest until my fingers are bloody. I can't rest until my fingers are bloody. I can't rest until I eat. Oh, 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 oh. can't stop until my teeth are touching. I can't stop until my teeth are touching. I can't stop until they meet. And when I'm hungry, I can't rest until my fingers are bloody. I can't rest until my fingers are bloody. I can't rest until I eat. Well, that's that one. Okay, so all right, we got 6 minutes, guys. 6 minutes till Oblivion releases. And all envelop you when all is said and done. I could know you, I would feel your every touch. And in the silence I can hear you like the flood. I could know you, I could show you I'm enough. And I'll devour you and finally know your love. I will taste it in your muscle cords, feel it in the way you feel me. And when the saints of hell surround me all at once, I'll just tell them what you told me. Everything deserves to live on once it's gone. Oh man. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We have 3 minutes left, and then after that, I'm going to be answering a few questions. I don't have a ton of time because we fly out really early in the morning, but I have a little bit of time. I can stick around and answer a couple of your questions about the album, about the process, about my music, whatever you guys want. Yeah, sorry. I've had a really long couple of days, and Playing music always kind of gets me in a very specific space. I don't know that song anymore. I learned that a really long time ago. I love that song, but I don't really remember it. Wow, 8:59. All right, guys. It is almost that time. Let's see how much time we have left. Oh, we have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, guys, to my first album in 2 years, Widow, Oblivion Part 1.
This cloudy morn, I threw your bones outside. A ritual in the garden soil of my love. I'll always come back to you. And oh, sweetheart, how long will you fight? don't mean I sleep. It's a case of the revenant. I'll be going towards the light, don't wake me. Paramore, I'm frightening. All my love is fairyland. I'll be roaming through the house, don't let me catch you sleeping. I'm living on the seafloor. I'm living in your pollen, emerging from the ether. I'm laying in the barren lands. I love it when you're tongue-tied, spilling through your secrets. A love that could caress my demon. Darling, in my heart, I'm tearing you apart. I stand corrected. I am on the edge of violence, stealing my hands to ride the lion and the lamb. It's a case of the revenant. Be going towards the light, don't wake me. I'm frightening. All my love is fairyland. I'll be roaming through the house, don't let me catch you sleeping. sadness, bringing color to the dirt. I'm losing, but I'm trying. Oh, I'm losing, but I'm trying. Oh, I'm losing, but I'm trying. I am losing, I'm not trying anymore. Caught in the river, turning blue. Hold your breath as it covers you. Ooh, ooh. Caught in the river, turning blue. Hold your breath as it covers flash, the wicked one. Oh, the moment seemed so clear. I'll rest your weary head beside my own. I will take these clothes and cover you, my dear. God bless your soul, He has not blessed mine. I'm a seizure, I'm a flash of light. I'll caress you more than fathers of your own. I'm the reaper, I'll have your soul. I'll break your my rain, my poison, my fun. I will take these clothes and cover you, my dear. God bless your soul, He has not blessed mine. Over your body, I'm dripping, I'm dripping, I'm dripping with dimension you cannot believe. I'm excited and not in a good way. I'm steadily spinning, I'm spinning, I'm spinning way too slow for you to perceive. Wrap you up in my gravity. Use my words incorrectly. I am pumped with proclivities and I'm falling, I'm losing my balance, I'm losing my balance, I'm losing it. 2 centimeters over your body. I'm dripping with dementia you cannot believe. I'm excited and not in a good way. I'm steadily spinning, way too slow for you to perceive. Wrap you up in my gravity, use my words incorrectly. I am plump with proclivities, and I'm falling and losing my balance and losing my balance and losing it. When the heart is gone, distances so our bodies have grown so clear. You're walking home without me. You stumble onto the edge of the world appears. You think I've changed. Don't worry, love, I'll cradle you in different tones. I'll sing to you in foreign tongues. Oh, you'll find me in the broken floor. I'm never leaving you alone. chrysalis. I'm growing up and dying every minute you exist. I'll venture down into your truth. I carry stone-covered chrysalis. I'm gonna chew you till my teeth are numb. I'll drink your poison as I bloom. Digest my way down to my doom.
Okay. Well, oh God. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I was really happy to read all the comments and hear what you guys thought about the album. Sorry, I've been working on a bunch of other stuff. Wait, give me 1 second. This is streaming to 3 places, so it's all messing up. Okay, so yeah, I really cool to see you guys commenting on the album. Like I said, I've been working on this for so long. It's crazy to kind of get to watch you guys listening to it for the first time, because at this point, you know, I've heard these songs like 1,000 times. So anyway, oh, that's cool. Sorry, give me 1 second. So I'm gonna answer a couple questions now. I'd love to hear kind of what you guys thought about it, and also give you a little bit more insight into the process and sort of how this all came about. Really interested to, you know, you spend, like, as a solo artist, you spend so much time working on this stuff, and it's completely alone. So you're like the only one who's perceiving this art, and it's really wild. Even just playing this for you and imagining it from your perspective, it's so interesting because it's so different. The idea of hearing it all for the first time, and the impressions that you'd get, or the kind of lenses through which you would listen to it. Like the last thing that you guys heard was Skeletons. Well, I guess you heard a bunch of the singles, but the last full release that you heard was Skeletons. So it's pretty wild to imagine, like, from that, listening to this whole and everything that's happened in between there. So yeah, I'm gonna answer a couple questions now, and I don't have a super long time because tomorrow I'm playing San Francisco. If anyone is out there, I would love if you guys came out. What? Give me a second, sorry. I don't know, there's like this poll thing. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, yeah, so gonna answer some questions now. Like I said, I'm playing San Francisco tomorrow. I would love to see you guys there if you're around. I'm playing at Pop Scene. Yeah, I think I'm going on at like 11 p.m. or so, and it's the completely new live set, Oblivion live set, with a bunch of this stuff, but a bunch of different versions of it, and some versions of old stuff mixed with the new stuff. And yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to watch that, because like I said, there's a completely new set of visuals for it, all kinds of cool new stuff. So yeah, I'm playing San Francisco, and then I'm playing Washington, D.C., then New York, then Chicago, Denver, Houston, and I think Chicago, I said that already. I think that's it. Oh, Los Angeles. There you go. Yeah. Only a couple of dates, because I'm still working on the second half of this album, and we wanted to sort of consolidate them to be able to make the dates a lot more special, instead of trying to do like 40 dates and having them all sort of, you know, pretty good. I wanted to do a smaller amount of dates and really be able to focus on each show and make it really cool. So I hope you guys enjoy that. If you want to buy tickets for that, there's all kinds of there's like VIP packages available where you can come hang out with me, get stuff signed, you get some exclusive merch. Yeah, and then there's still tickets available for most of the shows, I believe. I think the VIPs are sold out for a couple of them. But yeah, most of them are pretty far out, so you can still get tickets. Love to see you guys. There's merch available as well. So anyway, now questions. Let me see what we got. Why Ultraviolent Part 2 instead of Part 1? Well, Ultraviolent Part 1 is on the second half of the album. So, I spend so much time. One of the main things that takes up a ton of time is figuring out with an album is deciding on the arrangement. The sequence of songs is so important to me because the album is really the thing that I'm focusing on. I mean, we released the singles, but the experience of listening to the entire album, the experience that you guys just had, is my main focus. That's where I feel like I'm able to actually really communicate what I want to communicate. And so the arrangement, I mean, for this album, I probably went through, I'm not kidding, at least like 40 to 50 different arrangements. I had a bunch of other songs, sort of putting them all, just trying to figure out how exactly to communicate what I wanted to communicate. It's really difficult to figure out how you want the progression to go. And Ultraviolent Part 1, it didn't fit with what I was trying to say with this album, whereas Ultraviolent Part 2 very much did. So Ultraviolent Part 1's on the second half of the album. Let's see. Was Mephistopheles meant to be a sequel to Anachronism, or did you just plug in the underneath I'm Sleeping because it worked? A bunch of the songs on this album are sequels to previous songs, especially songs from Cataclysm. A lot of them tie in specifically and sort of take similar concepts, but reframe them and approach them from different angles. Because that's sort of how I'm writing about the stuff going on inside of me, and that's kind of how people work. They have these similar personality characteristics, but then they're going through different eras of their life, and those personality characteristics manifest and present themselves in different ways. So a lot of the same themes that were present in my old work are present in this work, except just with a different lens on them. How do you write your songs? I'm wondering because you've become my inspiration to start writing songs. I've written a bunch of pieces on this. So if you look up, I don't know what you could Google, maybe Crywolf songwriting process. I've written a couple pretty long pieces on my specific songwriting process. It's something that I'm always trying to develop. I'm super fascinated with with how those things are created. It's not like, I feel like a lot of people that create things that they're really proud of, or that other people really are moved by, a lot of times those people that are creating those things, they don't, if you read a lot of stuff from different artists, they really don't even understand where that stuff is coming from. The Greeks used to refer to the thing that wrote through them as the muse. It was supposed to be like spirits that live in the walls. And even though I don't see it that way, I don't see it as some sort of separate entity, I understand that. I understand how it feels that way. It feels like it's almost something different. I believe that that's the unconscious. And the process of unlocking the unconscious and writing through that is something that has always fascinated me endlessly. And the methods by which you sort of access that are always really interesting. Because essentially what you're trying to do is turn off your analytical brain, and you're trying to access this like deeper creativity that doesn't have to mathematically compute things, and instead it understands these grand concepts in ways that you can't even really articulate a lot of times. But yeah, as far as the specifics of how I write, you can look it up. There's a bunch of, at least like 4 or 5 times I've written articles or Facebook posts about them, so I'm sure those will come up. Do you feel like your music accurately conveys your outlook on life, or just how you were feeling at the time? I don't think my music necessarily presents my outlook on life. For me, artistic expression is a way of purging emotions. So music and art in general deals more with the world of feelings and the subjective interpretation of reality, as opposed to your actual outlook. Because I feel like outlook is this, outlook comes from your greater self that sits on top of your animal self and your child self and all these things that are sort of swayed by emotion. You have your greater self, which sits on top of that and can choose to react to things or not. So you're feeling a certain emotion, but you can choose whether to incorporate that into your outlook on life. You can be super sad about something or super upset and angry, and you can either choose to steer your outlook on life to reflect that and be really angry as a person, or you can choose to go in a different direction. That's the great thing about humanity, is that we have that sort of quote-unquote free will. But anyway, my point is, for me, music is something that reflects those raw emotions. It doesn't reflect how I'm necessarily reacting to life based on those emotions. So that's why a lot of times I think my music is a lot more cynical than I necessarily am as far as my actual presence in life. I think I'm much more of a optimistic and driven person than my music would probably let on. Will you be releasing the album on vinyl? Absolutely. Definitely going to do that pretty soon. It just takes a really long time to make vinyl albums. But definitely, I'm planning on releasing this album, Cataclysm, Angels, a couple of different albums, planning on doing vinyl releases. When you're on stage, do you get your energy from the crowd / adrenaline, etc., or do you let the audience melt away to the background? I think I would say that I get my energy from the audience. It's kind of like something, they all play into each other, because I already have, a lot of passion regarding the things that I'm creating. And so performing those regardless is always a pretty emotional experience for me, even if I'm just rehearsing them or something. But a lot of times it's like, the experience of performing something like that means a lot to you emotionally, the experience of playing that in front of people who are singing along to all the lyrics and clearly have been listening to that a ton and are supporting you, it's such a wild experience. I was just doing this interview with a publication the other day, and I was talking about this specific thing. And yeah, it's wild, because a lot of this music, like I said, is made completely alone. So it's so weird to be in a sold out room of, hundreds of people, and they're all singing along to your stuff. It's like they've taken this art and they've made it into their own thing, and they're spitting it right back at you. You're making art for a specific reason, but people are listening to it as the soundtrack to their lives, and they're interpreting everything through their lens of life, and so the art means something different to them, but yet it still all kind of maintains the same central theme. And anyway, it's just like this giant room of people that are all kind of expressing their own personal interpretation of something. And it's something that you just wrote like completely alone, you know, feeling like shit in your room. It's just like really, it's hard for me to imagine any other type of career where I could experience that particular feeling. It's really one of the highest emotions I could imagine. How do you come up with the names of the songs? I feel like it's sort of similar to the way that I write lyrics. I mean, it's hard to explain sometimes because it's almost like the artistic urge, like I said, it almost feels like something coming from somewhere else. It's like you're being driven by a very specific thing. It's like you have somebody talking. It's like you have an earpiece in and somebody's talking in your ear, and they have a really specific map of your environment, and they're telling you where to go, exactly what to do, the exact measurements of everything, and you don't see it in front of your actual eyes, but you have such a specific idea of what you're doing. Like this compulsion, but not a general compulsion. It's very specific, and so that expresses itself in the titles as well. It's like, I know exactly what something is called. It's not like, oh, I'm trying to decide between a bunch of different titles. It's like, oh, that's absolutely the title of this song. Sometimes it has a specific meaning, like that I could articulate, and then other times it's like, oh, I just it just hits me in this particular way. And sometimes, a lot of times, I understand that meaning a lot more later. Sometimes in the moment, I don't quite get it. And, I believe that's your unconscious, which has a much greater, wider scope of intelligence than your conscious brain does. It understands why these things connect together, and it's just compelling you. And so you're doing it almost just like following orders, and then later you start to understand when you sort of sit with it for a really long time. What was the most fun/challenging song for you to make on this new album? Fun/challenging. I guess I would say either Coyote or Drip. I mean, Coyote was fun. I mean, it was challenging. As a lot of you know, I made that after I got all of my equipment stolen in Chile. And not just all my equipment, but, 8 months worth of work on this album, completely different songs, all got stolen. And I was super pissed at life and went home. And went to like some stores and got these shitty little Bluetooth speakers and borrowed like a Windows 98 computer, installed like a demo of Ableton, the one that you have to like authorize every time, onto the computer, and had this shitty little microphone and recorded Coyote. And it was like, I was just in this fervor, just freaking out the whole time. And so, running. I mean, you could hear it in the song. You could hear me I was just running around this cabin, screaming, making all of these weird noises. And so that was challenging or fun. I'm not, depending on how you look at it. Drip was kind of challenging and fun because it's so different from a lot of the stuff that I do. I really wanted to start exploring. Something that I'm really passionate about in general is breaking out of my comfort zone creatively, and I think that's something that's really important for any creative person to do. A lot of times that's where real brilliance comes from, is trying to step outside of the comfortable circle that you've created for yourself. And so one of the things that I wanted to do was start pushing myself as far as my lyrical delivery, and Drip is sort of the song where I do that. Trying to pay attention a lot more to rhythm instead of melody. And I also wrote that song from a piece of writing that I did, which I don't often do. A lot of times I write my songs just completely new, and that was actually from specifically a piece of prose, like non-musical writing that I had done. So that was challenging as well, because it's just such a weird song, and understanding how those things fit together was very strange for me.
A bunch of people are asking what the meaning of widow is, and I don't really particularly want to talk about that. I don't know, it's kind of one of those things that there are like kind of certain parts of my releases that are really personal to me, and I just feel weird talking about them. Not weird in the sense that I'm embarrassed or ashamed or anything like that. More like, it sounds kind of strange, but almost like it's holy ground. Like there's certain, in the process of being an artist, I'm expressing all of these vulnerable things that are they're really scary to express. I'm trying to challenge myself with my vulnerability. But there's also a certain area of things that I'm expressing that I feel like they're just special. They exist in a world that I shouldn't really be trying to explain with some sort of rational, quick little elevator pitch to a bunch of people on the internet. Not that you guys are just a bunch of people. You're all like fucking incredible, and I know a bunch of you, and a bunch of you have been supporting me for a really long time, and I don't get me wrong, you guys are like my favorite people ever. So I don't mean it in that sense. I just mean like it's I don't know. It's something that I feel, to say it, to try to translate it into a paragraph would be almost blasphemy. A long time ago, this is such a very weird story out of context, but I randomly ended up going to this Mormon church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and through a lot of different random events that would take a really long time to explain, I ended up having dinner with one of the elders, like the heads of the church, and we were talking a ton about the Mormon religion and all these difficult aspects of it, all these controversial points, and there's this really beautiful idea that's kind of one of the controversial points, or the more weird parts of the Mormon religion. But it's the concept of Elohim's wife, which in some of their texts, they believe that they talk about God's wife. They believe that God has a wife, but that he's never told any of humanity about it, because in the Christian religion, in Islam, in a lot of different religions, they believe that it's a sin to use the Lord's name in vain, to say the name of the Lord. And so the idea is that God has this wife, and he's never told anybody about her because if they were to use her name in vain, it would be like the end of the world, essentially. So he protects her by never talking about her. I don't know. It's a really beautiful idea to me. Would you ever consider writing a book? Yeah, definitely. Maybe not. I've actually written 2 books of poetry now. I don't know when I'll end up releasing them, but I've been working on them for a while. I just write a lot, so I had a bunch of stuff to pull from. Yeah, so anyway, thank you so much, guys. It's amazing to get to spend some time with you again. It's always really, really cool when I get to. I hope you guys love the album, and if you do, please go. It sounds really cliche, but I'm a completely independent artist. I'm not affiliated with, big labels or big anything, and so all of the support that I have is literally just from you guys sharing it with your friends and coming to my shows from just completely grassroots support. So when you share it with your friends, when you show people, when you talk about it online, whatever, it actually is a huge help. You know, that's how I continue doing what I do, is through you guys' support. So I really appreciate it. There's all kinds of merch for sale. There's all kinds of things that you can do. Come out to the shows. That's a huge way that you can support. Chrysalis, I'm growing up and dying every minute you exist. I'll venture down into your tomb. A Paris storm-covered room. Chrysalis, I'm gonna chew you till my teeth are numb. I'll drink your poison as I bloom. Digest my way down to my tomb. Off somewhere far away, no mistaking. It could be you. I think it every day if we're the same. If that could be true, we could be on the floor, on our backs, screaming more. I know you want me home, but I've come close enough for now. Oh God, you want me home. I'm scared you'll leave me in the ground. I'm scared you'll leave me in the ground. This cloudy morn, I threw your bones outside. A ritual in the garden soil. Oh, my love, I'll always come back to you. And oh, sweetheart, how long will you fight? Thanks a lot, guys. Love you so much.